Hi everyone, the time is currently 5:03 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on this Friday, August 2nd, 2024, and welcome back to another Jweatherelnino YouTube weather video. In today's weather video, I'm going to be presenting to you all some late summer and early fall 2024 updates, including temperature and precipitation forecasts, latest ENSO updates or Nino-Southern Oscillation updates, plus some latest Tropics updates. So first of all, we're going to take a look here. At the updated official 30-day forecast or 1-month outlook from the National Reserve's Climate Prediction Center. So from 2 days ago on Wednesday, July 31st, 2024, updated 30-day forecasts for August of 2024, and as you can see, most of the country, almost all of the lower 48 states actually expecting above average temperatures, especially there over a lot of the west, and also at least moderately above average temperatures there possible for the southeast and lower mid-Atlantic coasts there, and also parts of the Great Lakes and north central United States a little bit also, as well as the very west coast, Pacific coast. Could be looking at equal chances there for above or below average precipitation. For the state of Alaska, we can see there with above average temperatures possible for northern eastern portions of the state. Southern and western portions of Alaska could be looking at some more below average temperatures there, and then areas right in the middle in between, also including the southeast coast of Alaska possibly, with equal chances there for above or below average temperatures. For precipitation for August of 2024, we can see there some above average precipitation possible, at least slightly above average possible for parts of the northeast United States, the northeast United States, most of the East Coast actually, as well as the Midwest and Great Lakes region, over close to portions of kind of the eastern north central plains also, down through the Gulf of Mexico coast, and then a tiny area of below average, slightly above average precipitation there, possible for parts of the south, a tiny area of the southwest United States, and for a lot of the northwest United States down through portions of the central and especially south central United States could be looking at least slightly below average temperatures there, precipitation there, with equal chances for areas in between for above or below average precipitation. Also for Alaska, we can see for the state of Alaska there, most of the state is expecting at least slightly above average precipitation, except for the southeast coast for the most part of the state of Alaska. And then now here, as we move on to the 3-month outlook from NOAA, we can actually see, we are looking at here at above average temperatures there for almost the entire lower 48 states expected for August, September, and October of 2024. The latest 3-month outlook there from NOAA from Thursday, July 18th, 2024 there, above average temperatures there, especially for parts of the southwest through the Four Corner states, and especially also there for most of the northeast United States there as well. But in general, most of the a lot of the country is expecting well above average temperatures, a little bit less so as you get further north United States and also closer to the west coast also, where some of those areas they're expecting equal chances for above or below average temperatures. And then for the state of Alaska there, a lot of the heart of the state, the central part of Alaska there, equal chance for above or below average temperatures, with some at least slightly above average temperatures there possible for further north and northeast, north and northeast in the state of Alaska. And then for southern western portions of the state, could be looking at a little bit more towards below average temperatures there. And for precipitation, we're looking at below average precipitation possible, at least slightly. Below average precipitation for portions of the western central United States, with above average precipitation favored there along the east coast down through the Gulf of Mexico coast, and especially there in Florida, southern Georgia, and southeastern South Carolina, and a tiny bit of the southern tip of North Carolina as well. Possibly some east coast tropical systems could be affecting those areas, especially considering that August, September, and October are usually close to the heart of August, September, and October of 2024. Well, those 3 months are usually in the middle of hurricane season. And then there for Alaska, a lot of the state could be looking at equal chances there, for above or below average precipitation. And then for the central and eastern Alaska, as well as southwestern Alaska. And then for the west or west central Alaska, could be leaning more towards a little bit above average precipitation as well. Now as we go ahead and move on to tropicaltidbits.com/analysis/models from the North American Multi-Model Ensembles. That's what NME stands for. So the 2 meter temperature anomaly in degrees Celsius, a little bit more in terms of the anomaly number in Fahrenheit, by the way, but as you can see, most of the country, well actually, this is for July. Let's look at August here. Well, it's technically updated in the evening. It was in the evening of Sunday, July 7th, 2024, so a little while ago. Most of the country is showing at least slightly above average temperatures. I think it's also important to keep in mind that this is showing there's a group of multiple different models and a large group of model simulations as well. This could look different in reality and probably will, but as you can see, about slightly above average temperatures at least, if not more so than that. Should be focused more in the western United States maybe as opposed to the eastern United States, for the most part at least. And then for September of 2024, kind of the same thing, not much difference, maybe centered a tiny bit farther south in the western United States, with more towards near average temperatures possible for the eastern United States. And then for October of 2024, kind of more towards the southwest, I guess, for the most likely areas for above average temperatures, according to this model simulation. And then for parts of the east coast, could be looking at near average temperatures during October of 2024. And then for precipitation from the same modeling system, August 2024 will probably stand out. So what can probably stand out to you, is it looks like here we can see a good chance of above average precipitation there for the East Coast, especially southern mid-Atlantic East Coast. Could be looking at some more tropical activity, and then most of the rest of the country expecting closer to average precipitation there. And then as we look towards September of 2024, which is typically our busiest month for the Atlantic hurricane season on average, we're looking at maybe continued little bit of tropical activity, at least, well, maybe more than a little bit, but we can see we have a good chance of above average rainfall for the southeast and lower mid-Atlantic coast, and we can all see some activity in the Gulf of Mexico with near average temperatures for most of the rest of the United States, maybe a few tiny areas of slightly below average temperatures in there as well. And then for August of 2024, we can see, October of 2024, we can see kind of reduced activity in terms of rainfall and probably tropical activity as well for the United States. Closer to average rainfall expected and precipitation in general in the country, in the United States. Maybe some below average temperatures there for the Pacific Northwest and Northern California possible. And we can actually see a split here in the Gulf of Mexico, which is interesting. In the northern, maybe extending down to the central Gulf of Mexico, maybe some below average precipitation with above average precipitation still likely for the southern, especially southwestern Gulf of Mexico there, as you can see. For the ENSO recent evolution current status and predictions updated as of this Monday, July 29th, 2024, so 4 days ago. We can see actually, the outline, it says summary, recent evolution, current conditions, Oceanic Nino Index or ONI, Pacific SST outlook or sea surface temperature outlook, U.S. United States seasonal precipitation and temperature outlooks, and the overall summary. And by the way, we're not going to look at all of it, by the way, just like the other previous weather videos, but kind of the more important or interesting information, I guess, maybe. I think that should be good for this section, but it looks like for the ENSO alert system status, we can see now we're in a La Nina watch. As it says here, ENSO neutral conditions are present. Equatorial sea surface temperatures, or SSTs, are above average in the western and west central Pacific, near average in the east central Pacific, and below average in the eastern Pacific Ocean. ENSO neutral expected to continue for the next several months, with La Nina favored to develop during August through October, 70% chance, and persistent to the northern hemisphere winter 2024 to 2025, 79% chance during November through January 2024 to 2025. And also, by the way, here it says, note, these statements are updated once a month on the second Thursday of each month in association with the ENSO diagnostics discussion, which can be found by clicking here. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and move on, actually, to, let's see, region SST or sea surface temperature departures in degrees Celsius. Recent evolution, the latest weekly SST departures, sea surface temperatures, anomalies are Nino 4, 0.6 degrees Celsius above average, Nino 3.4, 0.1 degrees Celsius above average, Nino 3, 0.2 degrees Celsius below average, Nino 1 plus 2, 0.7 degrees Celsius below average, which by the way is at a weak La Nina threshold. the threshold there being 0.5 degrees Celsius or more below average, but technically in the Nino 3.4 region of the tropical Pacific Ocean over a 3-month period. For SST departures in degrees Celsius in the tropical Pacific during the last 4 weeks, we can see this is kind of what it looks like here from June 30th, 2024 through July 27th, 2024. And for the global sea surface temperatures in degrees Celsius during the last 4 weeks, we can kind of see this, what it looks like across the globe, the difference compared to what is normal. And then let's see here. Change in weekly sea surface temperature departures over the last 4 weeks. During the last 4 weeks, both negative and positive SST anomaly changes were observed in the east, central, and eastern equatorial Pacific Ocean. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to, let's see here. Oceanic Nino Index, or ONI. The ONI is based on SST departures from average in the Nino 3.4 region, and is a principal measure for monitoring, assessing, and predicting ENSO, or El Nino-Southern Oscillation, defined as a 3-month running mean SST departures in the Nino 3.4 region. Let's just skip that part for now. And for NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, operational definitions for El Nino and La Nina. El Nino characterized by a positive ONI greater than or equal to 0.5 degrees Celsius or more above average, and La Nina being the opposite there, characterized by a negative ONI less than or equal to 0.5 degrees Celsius or more below average. By historical standards, to be classified as a full-fledged El Nino or La Nina episode. Technically, the thresholds, or these thresholds, must be exceeded for a period of at least 5 consecutive overlapping 3-month seasons, which is also interesting there. CPC, or Climate Prediction Center, considers El Nino or La Nina conditions to occur when the monthly Nino 3.4 OI SST departures meet or exceed plus or minus 0.5 degrees Celsius, along with consistent atmospheric features. These anomalies must also be forecasted to persist for 3 consecutive months. For ONI, Oceanic Nino Index in degrees Celsius evolution since 950, the most recent ONI value, April through June 2024, is 0.5 degrees Celsius above average. For historical El Nino and La Nina episodes, this is kind of what it looks like. So we were in an El Nino earlier in the year, as you can see. But anyways, for the Climate Prediction Center probabilistic ENSO outlook, updated on Thursday, July 11th, 2024, second Thursday of the month. ENSO neutral is expected to continue for the next several months, with La Nina favored to develop during August through October, 70% chance, and persistent in the Northern Hemisphere winter 2024 to 2025, 79% chance, during November through January. And as we can see, for June, July, and August meteorological summer of 2024, only a very low chance for La Nina, and in all likelihood ENSO neutral, but by July, August, and September, 3-month average, very close to equal probabilities. And by the way, all of these months you can see the probabilities for El Nino, are close to 0 overall, except maybe 5% or something like that during February, March, and April of 2025. But otherwise, La Nina is expected to prevail through, through at least late winter, maybe early spring, possibly of 2025, but we can see just about right about there equal changes for La Nina or ENSO neutral in the 3-month period, February, March, and April, of 2025. And then model predictions of ENSO for from July 2024, we can see both the dynamical model averages and CPC Climate Prediction Center console are kind of in agreement there on a weak to moderate La Nina peaking kind of there, centered in around late fall through early winter 2024 to 2025. But the statistical model averages are kind of closer to the neutral line rather than more into La Nina, which is also interesting, by the way. Those are probably less likely, as we can see less models are favoring that, but there's even a few favoring almost close to maybe even a weak El Nino, which is also interesting. I don't expect that to happen personally, but I think we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens. And by the way, this is updated 2 weeks ago on Friday, July 19th, 2024. And for the NCEP CFS version 2 forecast PDF corrected, also by the way, from Monday, July 29th, 2024, the CFS version 2 ensemble mean black dashed line indicates a transition to La Nina around August through October 2024, and as you can see right around there, and then it predicts kind of peaking almost near moderate La Nina, possibly around late fall of 2024. And then let's see, U.S. temperature and precipitation departures during the last 30 days, end date July 27th, 2024. So below average in the browns, above average there in the greens. For temperatures, above average there in the oranges and reds, and below average temperatures there in the blues. Temperature and precipitation departures during the last 90 days or 3 months, end date also July 27th, 2024. The same thing here, almost, and then overall not too much difference between the last 30 days and 90 days, especially for temperatures. Precipitation more so in the United States. And then U.S. seasonal outlooks, which you already looked at, by the way, is also on there. And the summer, which you already looked at, is also there, both at the top and bottom of this web page. And now for some interesting tropical updates here. This is from update at 4:36 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so not too long ago. We can see our potential tropical cyclone 4 right here. And if we click on it there, we can see some key messages for for potential tropical cyclone 4. But but it's kind of a lot of information there a little bit. It kind of talks about an overview of kind of the important key tropical information for the heading through the southeast and possibly lower mid-Atlantic coast or just off the coast. But if we can see here, so by the way, in the past at least 12 hours even, we can see it has shifted more towards coming right along up the southeast coast, possibly for an next tropical system that looks to develop into a tropical depression very soon, as you can see there, by tomorrow, Saturday, August 3rd, 2024, and then shortly thereafter become a tropical storm. As you can see, the cone of impacts, or the main, or the center of the storm at least, looks to it's kind of not as wide there, but as you can see, it becomes considerably wider, substantially wider by the time it gets towards almost near the lower mid-Atlantic coast, the path. And also keep in mind that this can still change, and some impacts can even extend outside the cone, by the way, so I think that's important to note there as well. We can see that if it shifts further west, parts of the Delmarva and even DC area could have at least some impacts, probably not tropical storm status in the DC area, but in terms of impacts, but we'll kind of have to wait and see on that as well. And lastly here, we're going to go ahead and look at potential tropical cyclone 4 here, some model guidance here on tropicaltidbits.com as well. As we can see, for global plus hurricane models, we can see here they kind of want to track it up through parts of Florida right along the southeast coast, and then maybe curve a little bit offshore of the mid-Atlantic coast there. And then, by the way, that's global plus hurricane models, the GFS American Ensemble models, the overall group simulations kind of forecasted also along the east coast, but then they curve a little bit more offshore of the east coast there, as you can see, and also even up into kind of Atlantic Canada there as well. For the GPS ensembles, I think that I can't remember exactly which models that is, but it looks like these models actually want to take it further west, more inland up the southeast coast, and then curve right along the east coast or southeast coast, and also a bit offshore there as well. So let's see here. Actually, that is it for today's video. I guess so that's all for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope that you learned some valuable information there. In today's video. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a nice weekend, everyone, as well. And I will see you all in the next Jweatherelnino video. So, have a nice day, everyone. Bye.